Yo, what is going on guys, Houndish here, and today Trials of Osiris has returned on a very interesting map, Widow's Court, which I'm pretty sure is the only Year 1 Trials specific map that has returned in the Taken King so far. So that's pretty cool, and I think obviously we will be getting more maps that we've played on, like in Year 1. Possibly popping up, and maybe start seeing more Taken King maps in the next kind of couple of weeks as well. It's definitely a bit of a change up, and it is very different as well to the Anomaly last week, which was obviously a very shotgun friendly, very shotgun prominent map. And this is more of a sniper haven, and it really is a good map for sniping. People who snipe confidently and are very kind of adept at sniping will absolutely beast on this map. And obviously if you're less of a confident sniper and you don't have good snipers on your team, this map is definitely one of the more complicated maps, because as well as kind of the fact that you may not be sniping or anything like that, the meta doesn't really allow for the kind of aggression abuse that you used to see. So like blink shotgun, the last word and things like that were much more effective back then as well. So people could, kind of push snipers more than they can now. So I feel like sniping is even more of a big deal on this map than it ever kind of has been before. That's not to say you can't succeed with shotguns, but really you've got to consider the build-up of your team. You're going to need some effective snipers on your team to kind of engage the other snipers, get people out, especially if you are trying to shotgun. You don't want to be going up against 3 people on this map, because a lot of the time they're going to have very long lines of sight to you. So like I said, there's very long lines of sight for sniping, which does make it kind of a little bit more tricky, a little bit more like Rusted Lands can be. People can get right into the back of the map, and you need to be pretty confident and know the lines of sight, and that's whether you're sniping or not, because obviously if you're sniping you want to engage there, but if you're not, you don't want to get sniped out from one of the many places that that kind of can happen. So you've got kind of the courtyard stairs where people engage a hell of a lot. You've got the trees right at the back of either spawn, kind of above the courtyard. You can get up against the back wall and look down to near the church, and then also you've got the broken building where I am here, and people do utilize all of these spaces, and there are, like I said, some very kind of hard to track at times lines of sight, at least if you don't know them. So just kind of know how that's likely to work. Pulse rifles obviously are kind of a meta part of PvP. They're always there whatever the map, but I have seen more people using scout rifles on this map with kind of some effects. The only problem I have with scout rifles on this map is that kind of when you're in effective scout rifle range, you're really in the very effective and kind of common sniper range that people will use on this map as well. And then obviously any closer, you're in pulse rifle range, and things get very difficult if you're trying to use scouts, at least against pretty good players. So if you're sniping, then kind of if you feel confident, then you absolutely should kind of engage and compete on those obvious lines of sight, the staircase, the middle, and everything like that. If you're less confident, you're going to want to kind of move around the map. There are some interesting spots as well, like right here, right in the back of our spawn. People do like to snipe up here, which is literally the reason that I decided to, try it out and just see if you can actually get kills up there pretty effectively, which you can. So if you're sniping down, obviously look out for it. If you're sniping from down here, you're having difficulty engaging a bit closer, then it's something to consider is using things like that. If you're pushing teams as well, 2-1 strategy can be pretty effective on this map, where you have kind of maybe 2 people in the courtyard looking up the stairs or sniping up, and then one runs through middle if you can kind of handle it. And that's especially something to think about if you are shotgunning. You're going to want to try doing that as much as possible, going through the mid or the far left and right sides of the map, and kind of 2-1 flanking people effectively, so that you've actually got an opportunity to use those shotguns. And like I said, if kind of the people having the battle up front right in these kind of spots do get someone out, then you've got a great opportunity to kind of push right there and do your thing with the shotgun. So it's just kind of thinking about where your weapons kind of sit on a map like this, and that's kind of the main thing. Obviously being a good sniper is going to make your life a lot more enjoyable during this weekend's trials, at least on Widow's Court. So heavy ammo wise, you can push the heavy spawns pretty effectively on this map. Always use rockets in trials, that's just a given. You can snipe both of the heavies on this map from a bit of a range, which is kind of interesting as well. That hasn't really happened on any of the other maps necessarily, or not kind of so many opportunities to do so, at least on the other maps. So consider kind of pushing heavies and sniping heavies, but people do like to split up on this map, so it can also be a little bit dangerous. If you are going to push the other heavy, you need to kind of try and sweep past yours as you do it and make sure people aren't going for yours, otherwise things just get very, very messy. But that's just a few things to think about this week on Widow's Court. Obviously, like I said, we have seen this map before, so a lot of people will kind of feel very comfortable with how to play this map, but newer people, kind of people who started playing more PvP recently in Trials, or Trials in the Taken King, and are kind of new players, then there's some things to think about on this map at least, and it's kind of fun that Widow's Court is back up. Very old school feeling to be playing back on this map, which I definitely enjoy. So anyway guys, I hope you have found the video kind of interesting. Let me know down below if you've managed to go flawless or do really well on this map, and if you have any tips for people and kind of, you know, things that you think might be helpful to other people in the comments, then definitely drop them down below. But I hope you have enjoyed the video. If you have, drop me that like and comment, and feel free to hit subscribe for a lot more Destiny content as well. But for now, you guys have a great weekend inside of Trials, and I'll catch you very soon. Peace out.